Ladies and gentlemen, there will come a time when people will question you, they will misunderstand you, they will twist your words, misinterpret your actions, and even doubt your intentions. And your first instinct will be to defend yourself, to explain, to justify, to prove that you are right. Every single day, we encounter situations where people misunderstand us, judge us, or question who we are. They might question your choices, your decisions, your values, and even your dreams. And if you're like most people, your first instinct might be to jump in and start explaining. You feel a fire inside you, a need to justify yourself, to make sure they see your side, to prove that you are worthy, that you are good, that you are right. But here's the truth: your worth is not up for debate. You are not a courtroom case waiting to be defended. You are not on trial. Your life does not require a panel of judges to declare you valid. The need to defend yourself often comes from a place of insecurity, from the belief that if you don't convince others of your goodness or correctness, then you'll lose something important. But real confidence, real strength, comes from knowing that you don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are. When you stop defending yourself, you take back your power. You stop putting your identity in the hands of people who might not even have your best interest at heart. Why should the opinion of someone who misunderstands you hold the power to disturb your peace? Why should their misunderstanding of your journey make you doubt the path you're walking? When you feel that urge to argue, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I trying to prove, and to whom? Most of the time, you'll find that what you're really craving is validation, the feeling that someone else approves of you. But think about how fragile that is. If your sense of worth depends on other people's approval, then you'll be happy when they praise you and broken when they criticize you. You'll live like a leaf in the wind, blown around by every opinion that comes your way. That's no way to live. You have to decide that your worth comes from within, that you don't need everyone to like you, agree with you, or understand you. Some people will never see your value, no matter how loudly you try to explain it. And that's okay. Their inability to see your light doesn't make you any less bright. Choosing not to defend yourself doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It means you become selective with your energy. You decide which conversations are worth your time. You refuse to engage in battles that drain your spirit. You let your actions speak louder than your explanations. Because actions, over time, build a truth no one can deny. Imagine this: someone criticizes your work, accuses you of something untrue, or spreads rumors about you. Instead of rushing to fight back, you stay calm. You keep building, keep working, keep growing. Time passes, and your results, your success, your character, all reveal the truth that words could never have defended as powerfully. There is a deep kind of strength in letting your life be your answer. This is what it means to live with unshakable self-worth. You stop arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop spending sleepless nights thinking about how to make everyone happy. You stop explaining your dreams to those who don't share your vision. You simply keep going. You focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and you let the noise fade into the background. In the end, your worth is not in the hands of your critics, your friends, your family, or even society. Your worth is yours. It is rooted in the fact that you exist, that you are here, that you have a purpose no one else can fulfill. So the next time you feel tempted to defend yourself, take a breath, hold your ground, and remind yourself, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I don't need to prove it. And when you start living this way, something amazing happens. The right people notice, the right people are drawn to you, not because you begged for their approval, but because they feel the strength of your presence. They see your quiet confidence. They respect your refusal to play small or seek validation. And even your critics, whether they admit it or not, feel that calm power. So stop living as though you are on trial. Stop handing over your peace to every misunderstanding that comes your way. Stand tall, stay grounded, walk forward, and remember, your worth is not up for debate. There is a unique kind of energy that comes from staying calm under pressure, but too often, we throw that energy away the moment we feel attacked. Someone questions us, criticizes us, or challenges our choices, and instantly we go into defense mode. Our heart rate goes up, our mind starts racing, and before we know it, we're explaining ourselves, justifying every decision, arguing point by point to prove that we are right. And in doing so, we hand over our power. Defensiveness feels natural, but it is costly. Every time you leap to defend yourself, you are letting someone else control your emotional state. You are telling them, your opinion of me is so important that I'm willing to spend my energy convincing you to think differently. That's energy you could be spending building your dreams, improving yourself, or simply living in peace. Instead, you waste it trying to win an argument that, in the grand scheme of things, does not matter. Defensiveness also keeps you trapped in reaction mode. When you are defensive, you are no longer thinking clearly or proactively. You are consumed by the need to respond, to justify, to make someone else see things your way. And here's the hard truth. Some people are not interested in understanding you. Some people criticize not because they want clarity, but because they want control. Some people attack not because you are wrong, but because they feel threatened by your rightness. If you defend yourself to those people, you are feeding their need for drama. You are playing a game you cannot win because their goal is not to see the truth. Their goal is to keep you off balance. When you choose not to defend yourself, you take back control of the game. You step out of reaction mode and step into a place of calm power. Instead of fighting to be heard, you become a quiet force that no one can easily provoke. You communicate to the world that you are not easily shaken, that you do not need to justify your existence, and that you will not waste time arguing with those who are determined to misunderstand you. It takes strength to do this. Silence is not always easy. It can feel uncomfortable to let people talk without responding, to let accusations hang in the air without rushing to clear them up. But in that discomfort lies your power. When you refuse to engage in pointless arguments, you are saying, my energy is too precious to spend on this. You are saying, I will not fight small battles when I am destined for bigger victories. And the more you practice this, the more unshakable you become. Instead of reacting, you start choosing your responses with intention. Instead of pouring your energy into defending your choices, you pour it into living them. And over time, your results speak louder than any defense ever could. People begin to see the truth of who you are, not because you explained it to them, but because you lived it so consistently that it became undeniable. Defensiveness also has another hidden cost. It can make you look guilty even when you are not. The harder you argue, the more desperate you seem to prove something, and desperation never communicates strength. Calmness, on the other hand, communicates confidence. When someone criticizes you and you remain composed, you send a powerful message, I am secure in who I am. I don't need your approval to keep moving forward. That kind of calm power is magnetic. People trust it, they respect it, they are drawn to it. And even those who wish to provoke you will think twice when they realize they cannot steal your energy so easily. So the next time you feel the urge to defend yourself, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this conversation move me forward, or will it simply drain me? Most of the time, the answer will be clear. Choose to keep your power. Choose to stay calm. Choose to let your actions, your consistency, and your results speak for themselves. Life is too short to spend it putting out every little fire that someone else tries to start. Not every comment needs a response. Not every misunderstanding needs a clarification. Not every critic needs an explanation. Protect your energy, because your energy is your life force. Once you give it away to defensiveness, you have less left for what truly matters, your purpose, your goals, your peace. Defensiveness drains your power. Calmness preserves it. Silent strength multiplies it. And when you stop wasting your energy on fighting small battles, you'll have everything you need to win the war that truly matters, the one to become the best, strongest, most grounded version of yourself. There is a quiet power in knowing where you end and where the world begins. Too often, we live in a state of constant reaction, allowing everyone else's opinions, demands, and emotions to spill into our space. We say yes when we want to say no. We explain ourselves endlessly when someone questions us. We bend and twist to make others comfortable, even when it costs us our peace. But there comes a point when you must stop living like that. There comes a point when you must draw a line, not with anger, not with shouting, not with drama, but with calm, unshakable clarity. A boundary is not a wall meant to keep everyone out. It is a line that defines what is acceptable and what is not. It is the invisible marker that says, this is where my responsibility ends and where yours begins. This is how I expect to be treated, and this is how I refuse to be treated. And the most powerful boundaries are not the ones screamed at others in frustration. They are the ones you enforce quietly, consistently, and with unwavering calm. Calm boundaries speak louder than words because they are not about controlling anyone else. They are about controlling yourself. You cannot control whether people respect your time, but you can control whether you keep giving it to those who waste it. You cannot control whether people speak to you with kindness, but you can control whether you stay in conversations that are disrespectful. You cannot control whether people believe in your dreams, but you can control whether you keep sharing them with those who constantly doubt you. When you set calm boundaries, you are not trying to change others. You are simply choosing to change how you respond. You stop arguing with people who mistreat you, and instead, you quietly step away. You stop over-explaining why something matters to you, and instead, you simply live by it. Your actions become your statement, your silence becomes your strength, and little by little, the world begins to adjust because people realize you are not someone who can be pushed around or pulled into drama. There is a misconception that setting boundaries means being cold or distant, but that is not true. Boundaries are an expression of self-respect, not hostility. You can say no with kindness. You can walk away with grace. You can protect your energy without being rude or defensive. The calmness in your delivery shows that you are not acting out of fear or anger. You are acting out of clarity and love for yourself. The beauty of calm boundaries is that they teach people how to treat you without you having to lecture them. You show them through your actions what is acceptable and what is not. If someone repeatedly disrespects your time, you stop making yourself so available. If someone keeps crossing a line with their words, you stop engaging in those conversations. Over time, the message becomes clear. If they want to stay in your life, they must rise to the level of respect you have set. And here's something important. Not everyone will like your boundaries. Some people will be offended when you stop over-giving, over-explaining, or overextending yourself. They will accuse you of being selfish, cold, or difficult, but their reaction is not a reflection of whether your boundary is right. It is a reflection of how much they benefited from you not having one. When you stop letting people drain your energy, those who were feeding on it will protest. Do not let that noise shake you. Your peace is more important than their comfort. The real power of calm boundaries is that they allow you to stay grounded. You no longer live on an emotional roller coaster, trying to please everyone or defend yourself every time someone misunderstands you. You simply stay centered, rooted in what you know to be true for you, and in that state of calm, you become harder to provoke, harder to manipulate, harder to control. This is what silent strength looks like. Not yelling, not fighting, not defending every decision, but living in alignment with your values and refusing to compromise your peace. Over time, people come to respect that. They may not always agree with you, but they will learn that you are not someone who can be pushed past your limits. The next time someone tests you, instead of reacting emotionally, try responding calmly. Instead of explaining why your boundary is necessary, simply enforce it. Instead of feeling guilty for putting yourself first, remind yourself that healthy boundaries are not selfish, they are essential. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot live a purposeful life if you are constantly drained by the chaos of others. Your calm boundaries are a shield. They protect your mind, your heart, and your energy. They keep you focused on what matters most and free from distractions that would pull you off course. And the more you practice setting them, the more natural it becomes, until one day you realize you no longer need to raise your voice or justify your choices. Your life, your presence, and your peace will do the talking for you. We live in a world that expects immediate reactions. Someone criticizes you and you're supposed to clap back. Someone spreads rumors and you're expected to clear your name. Someone insults you and everyone waits for your response. But there is a strength most people never learn to use, the strength of silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is not an admission of guilt. Silence is a choice, and a very powerful one. When you choose silence, you refuse to be pulled into chaos. You refuse to let someone else control the direction of your energy. You refuse to let their words dictate your mood or your behavior. Silence is a declaration. I will not waste my breath on something that does not deserve it. It takes maturity to stay quiet when you know you could win the argument. It takes discipline to keep your peace when you have the perfect comeback ready. It takes inner strength to resist the urge to defend yourself when someone lies about you. But every time you do it, you are proving something far more important than a point. You are proving that you are not controlled by your ego. You are proving that you value your peace more than you value being right in the eyes of others. Silence is not passive, it is strategic. It is the pause between provocation and response. It is the space that allows you to decide whether this battle is worth fighting, whether this conversation is worth having, whether this person is even worth your time. Most of the conflicts that consume us are not life-changing. They are petty arguments, passing insults, or small misunderstandings that will mean nothing a week from now. Silence allows you to let those moments pass without getting dragged into unnecessary drama. People often mistake silence for weakness because they expect noise, they expect a reaction, they expect you to get angry, to argue, to fight back. When you don't, it unsettles them. They don't know what to do with someone who refuses to give them the satisfaction of a reaction. Your calmness becomes your power. Your lack of response becomes your answer. And more often than not, time reveals the truth far better than your words ever could. There is also wisdom in remembering that not everyone is entitled to your energy. Some people provoke you simply to get a reaction. They thrive on conflict, and when you give them that reaction, you reward their behavior. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to engage, they are left to deal with their own noise. You teach them that you will not be an easy target. You show them that you are not someone who dances to the tune of their negativity. Of course, silence does not mean tolerating disrespect. It does not mean staying quiet when you should speak up to protect yourself or others. It means knowing when speaking would be a waste of breath. It means knowing when walking away is more powerful than winning the argument. It means trusting that the truth does not always need your defense. Sometimes it just needs time to stand on its own. Think about the moments in your life when you fought hardest to explain yourself. Did it really change the other person's mind? Or did it just leave you feeling drained? Now think about the times you stayed silent and focused on your own growth. Over time, your actions, your consistency, and your results spoke louder than anything you could have said in the heat of the moment. That is the quiet power of silence. There is freedom in not having to answer every attack. There is freedom in not feeling the need to set the record straight every time someone misrepresents you. There is freedom in letting go of the need to win arguments that don't matter. Silence gives you that freedom. It allows you to keep your dignity intact while others waste their energy trying to provoke you. The next time someone tries to drag you into a fight, take a deep breath. Resist the urge to react right away. Ask yourself, will my words improve this situation, or will they just fuel the fire? If the answer is no, choose silence. Protect your energy. Stay focused on your path. Let the noise fade into the background while you keep moving forward. Over time, you will notice something beautiful. The less you react, the more peace you feel. The more you hold your tongue, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the less power anyone has to disturb your calm. People may not understand your silence at first, but eventually they will respect it. They will learn that you are someone who does not fight every battle, who does not need to prove every point, who does not waste time on things that do not serve your growth. Silence is not empty. It is full of power. It is full of intention. It is full of self-respect. And when you master it, you stop being pulled into every storm that passes by. You become the calm in the middle of the chaos, the stillness that no one can shake. And that, more than any words you could ever speak, is the truest and most powerful response you can give. True strength does not need a spotlight. It does not need applause, approval, or an audience to be real. True strength is quiet. It is steady. It is something people feel without you ever having to say a word. The strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest. They are the one who is calm, collected, and so grounded in who they are that nothing can easily shake them. We live in a time where people feel pressured to announce everything: their goals, their victories, their opinions, their pain. But there is a special kind of power in simply living it instead of talking about it. People can sense when you are strong, not because you tell them, but because of the way you carry yourself. Your presence, your consistency, your actions all speak for you. Think about someone you admire, not for what they say, but for the way they show up. Their calmness under pressure inspires you. The way they handle conflict makes you trust them. The way they keep going even after failure makes you respect them. That is felt strength. It is the kind of strength that does not demand attention but commands it naturally. Announced strength is fragile. When someone constantly has to remind the world how tough, confident, or successful they are, it often comes from a place of insecurity. They are trying to convince themselves as much as they are trying to convince everyone else. Quiet strength, on the other hand, does not need convincing. It simply is. It is built on discipline, patience, and self-respect. It shows up in how you treat people, how you handle challenges, and how you bounce back from setbacks. You can tell when someone has this kind of strength because they don't get easily rattled. They don't overreact to criticism. They don't seek revenge when they are wronged. They don't waste time proving themselves to people who doubt them. They let their results do the talking. They keep building, keep improving, keep moving forward until there is no need to argue, because the evidence of who they are is undeniable. Quiet strength is magnetic. It draws people in because it feels rare and unshakable. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, the person who is calm stands out. They radiate a sense of stability that others crave. People naturally trust those who do not need to constantly defend or advertise their power. This kind of strength cannot be faked. It is earned. It comes from facing challenges, from falling and getting back up, from doing the work even when no one is watching. It comes from choosing self-control over impulsive reactions, patience over frustration, peace over drama. It is forged in moments of struggle, when you could lose your temper but choose not to, when you could retaliate but choose grace, when you could give up but keep going anyway. You do not need to broadcast your resilience for it to matter. The people who need to see it will notice, and even those who don't notice right away will feel it over time. Strength leaves an impression, not through words, but through presence. When you embody this kind of power, you stop chasing recognition. You no longer live for other people's validation. You become focused on your own growth, your own purpose, your own journey. And that focus creates results that speak louder than any announcement ever could. Your consistency becomes your proof. Your calmness becomes your statement. Your life becomes the example that others look to. Strength that is felt rather than announced is the kind of strength that endures. Announced strength needs to be repeated again and again to stay believable. Quiet strength does not, because it is self-sustaining. It comes from within and no one can take it from you. Imagine walking into a room where people whisper about your character not because of what you've said about yourself, but because of how you've lived. Imagine reaching a point where you no longer feel the need to argue about who you are, because your life is undeniable evidence of your discipline, your focus, and your integrity. That is the level of strength you are aiming for. And the best part, when your strength is felt rather than announced, it inspires others to rise too. You become a living example of composure, of dignity, of resilience. You show others what is possible when they stop shouting and start doing. So stop feeling the need to tell the world how strong you are. Stop wasting energy proving yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Let them watch, let them doubt, let them talk. While they do, you keep building, keep growing, keep standing tall. In time, they will feel your strength without you ever having to say a word, because true strength is not a performance. It is a presence. And when you learn to live in that presence, your calm becomes louder than any noise, and your quiet power becomes impossible to ignore. There comes a moment in life when you have to make a choice, keep fighting to be understood, keep explaining the past, keep replaying every moment where you were wronged, or let it all go and move forward. Most people stay stuck because they are too busy looking backward. They replay old conversations, they re-argue old arguments, they try to rewrite the past in their mind. They think if they just explain it one more time, if they just defend themselves a little louder, then everyone will finally see what they see. But the truth is, you cannot move forward if you are chained to yesterday. Focusing backward drains you. It keeps you living in reaction to things that have already happened. Things you cannot change, you cannot rewrite, who hurt you, who misunderstood you, or who doubted you. You cannot rewrite the moments when you fell short or the times when life was unfair, but you can write what comes next. You can choose to turn the page and stop giving the past so much power over your present. Every minute you spend defending yourself over something that happened yesterday is a minute you could have spent building something for tomorrow. Every conversation you have trying to convince someone to understand your side is energy you could have spent becoming the person who no longer needs their approval. Forward motion requires focus, and focus requires you to stop looking back. The past can teach you, yes, it can give you lessons, wisdom, perspective, but it was never meant to be your permanent home. You are supposed to visit it for guidance, not live there. If you keep dwelling on who hurt you, who betrayed you, who criticized you, then you are still letting them have a say in how you feel today. That is a form of giving away your power. Choosing to focus forward is not about pretending the past didn't happen. It is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything was fine. It is about deciding that you will not stay there. It is about saying, yes, that happened. Yes, it hurt, but I will not spend the rest of my life staring at a closed door when there are so many open ones ahead of me. When you focus forward, you stop obsessing over who believes you and who doesn't. You stop wasting time proving yourself to people who have already made up their minds. You stop fighting battles that belong to an earlier version of you. You start showing through action that you are no longer the person who was stuck in that moment. Focusing forward also means trusting that time has a way of revealing the truth. You do not have to rush to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to justify why you made certain decisions. You do not have to convince the world that you are worthy. If you keep moving, Keep growing, keep doing the work. Eventually, your results will speak for you. The people who doubted you will either have to face the truth or get left behind. There is freedom in letting go, freedom in not carrying old arguments into new seasons of your life, freedom in not letting yesterday's version of you define today's choices. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to outgrow certain conversations, certain environments, certain relationships, and sometimes the best way to defend yourself is simply to build a future that makes the past irrelevant. Think about the most successful, peaceful, fulfilled people you know. They are not the ones still explaining why something happened years ago. They are not the ones still fighting to be seen a certain way. They are too busy building what's next. They are too busy turning their pain into purpose, their setbacks into comebacks, their silence into progress. They let the past be the past so that the future can have space to breathe. Forward focus requires courage. It means leaving some things unresolved. It means accepting that not everyone will apologize, not everyone will understand, not everyone will change. It means giving yourself permission to heal without waiting for closure. It means choosing peace over winning the argument, growth over proving a point. And the most beautiful part is what happens when you do this. When you stop looking backward, your energy shifts, your mind clears, your vision sharpens. You start noticing opportunities that were always there but hidden behind the noise of your past. You start attracting people and experiences that match the person you are becoming instead of the person you used to be. You start to feel lighter, freer, more unstoppable. So stop defending yourself to the ghosts of yesterday. Stop giving them power over your present. Stop looking back at what cannot be changed and start building what can. Focus forward. Keep your eyes on where you are going, not where you have been. Because the truth is, the best way to prove yourself, the best way to respond to criticism, the best way to heal from the past, is to create a future so strong, so undeniable, that it speaks louder than anything you could have said in your defense. The past is a chapter. The future is the story still being written. And if you keep turning your head backward, you'll miss what's coming next. So face forward, stand tall, and walk toward the life you know you are meant to build. Let your future be your loudest answer. Would you like me to compile all 6 expanded keynotes into one seamless motivational ebook-style document with an intro and conclusion so you can use it as a complete talk or publication?